Alex here from the Four Seasons. I hope everyone is all doing okay with the self-isolation and that you're all safe and well at this current time. I thought it'd be nice to just do a couple of videos on 3 things to avoid when brushing your dog at home. So when people brush their dog, it tends to be a bit like this, which is really good for the top coat. But to prevent matting, you need to get into all the different areas where there's friction, so a dog does get mats. So I have 2 different dogs here to demonstrate. This is Summer, she's our Golden Retriever puppy, and she has got some areas where matting could develop. So I just want to show you quickly what to do. Firstly, stand her up. Areas that could develop matting in a dog like this is here, this back end here, her feathers, possibly under here, and also behind the ears. So obviously owners tend to get their brush and brush like this and they look lovely. But the thing what we were trying to achieve here is not to let mats develop. So lift up her tail, we brush, making sure to go with the grain of the hair, brushing down to try and get out any knots, some developing in there at the back, brushing that through. The next thing you can do, you can take a wide tooth comb. These are easily obtainable on Amazon, somewhere like that, and get the comb just to make sure those mats, nothing exists there, and combing through right under here so that we can ensure any mats have come out. If you did that every couple of days in areas that there's a lot of hair, that will stop any mats coming. Also on her tail is another area, so we'll just give this a brush. And this applies to all dogs, including Cockapoos and any other wool-coated breeds. And again, I'll get my comb and just go through it to make sure I've got every single hair. Good girl. The next area to focus on is around here, around behind the ears. This is an area in a dog that I see a lot of mats in the salon. So I'll get my brush, just brush this through here. And again, at the side, I'll get my comb just to be 100% sure that there are no mats there, under here. So that's a little tutorial on how to brush the areas behind the ears and the back end and the tail. Now, she doesn't have much coat on her legs, so she's not a good example of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my other dog, Xander, and just put him on the table and show you how to focus on areas around legs, which I know, well, up till recently have been quite tricky for people to do because of the wet weather. Hopefully with the dry weather here now, it'll start to improve. Thank you. Hi, it's Alex here from the Four Seasons again. I've just switched over to my other dog, Lois. It was going to be Xander, but actually Lois has more of a curly coat, so it's easier for me to show you the areas to focus on for the curly coat. Now Lois is a wire-haired breed, so she has quite thick hair and she doesn't really get matted. But many of my clients have curly-coated breeds, such as Cockapoos, Cockapoochons, anything with a poodle mix. So with these type of dogs, it's very important to brush legs very, very well, because this is the area that gets matted. What you want to do is lift up the leg and hold it up and make sure you're brushing the hair away from the skin, getting to every single little area, including behind the elbow, between the inside of the legs, all the way down, even to the paw, because in between those little toes gets really matted sometimes as well. So you want to do that. If you do find a knot, just be careful that you don't pull too hard on it, because it can cause a lot of pain, similar to your own hair if you brush it. So as you can see, Lois's hair is all brushed out, so I can get it comb as well, and just pull the comb through the hair like so, all the way through and underneath here and in here. And again with the other leg, brushing from the toe, between her toes, all the way up on the inside of the leg. In here, very important areas in here. Making sure all those knots come out. And again, I get my wide tooth comb and just go over it again to make sure there are no knots. Now, If you did that every few days, it would help to stop any knots or mats forming on your dog's coat. And again, other areas to focus on. Good girl. Back legs, in here, where the leg meets the side, brushing in here. On the inside of the leg gently, if you've got a very tight bristle brush, just go gently. Just trying to get any knots out like that. All the way down the leg into the paw. So I'm just going to go back upwards again, just to make sure, because sometimes if you just brush down, you're just brushing the mats back onto the skin. So what you want to try and do is get the hair away from the skin as much as you can, so you can identify if there's any knots. And then short little movements like this. Therefore, you're not going to hurt the dog in any way. You're just going to try and get any tangles out. Good girl, Lois. Again with my comb, just pulling the hair up like this gently, not tugging at it, just gently pulling it away from the skin. Here. Again with her face, she doesn't have any hair here, but that's why I showed you on Summer. But some of the beards, similar on the short hair, on the curly coated breeds, will have muzzle hair. So we'll just be brushing here like so. Just gentle, short movements. Again, trying to pull the hair away from the skin rather than just brushing downwards. So going in different directions just to see if there's any knots. And then, of course, you can just comb the hair down into the style that you want it to be. Some of them have more of a donut style, and then some. This dog obviously has a brick-shaped head, so I'll just comb that the correct way. And also on some of the curly coated breeds, the areas to focus on are down here. Obviously she doesn't, she has, she's hand stripped, so she doesn't have a lot of hair here, but just focus on all of these areas here down in the neck, especially the area where you have a collar. So make sure you take their collar off and just brush where the collar is, because the friction of the collar against the hair can make mats appear. So basically, the two tools that you need to do this, let's put that back on her, good girl. Two tools that you need is just a slicker brush of some description, or whatever brush you've been using at home, but make sure it's good enough to, you know, really get in and grab that hair. And then a wide tooth comb, which you can just finish off and just make sure that you've caught every single tangle. So if there's any questions, please email me directly or comment in the box below, and I'll happily answer them for you. Hope everyone stays safe and well, and I'll be in touch again soon. Thanks, bye bye.